Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through the sources you send us, looking for those key insights, those aha moments, basically. Our job is to pull them out and talk them through in a way that's, well, useful and hopefully pretty engaging.
And today, we're looking at the story of Ravi, a 24-year-old in India. It's based on excerpts from Start Speaking English in 7 Days.
Right, this ambitious goal he set himself, learn to speak English, actually converse in just 1 week.
Exactly. And what makes it so relatable, I think, is that initial struggle he had. He could understand some English, read it okay, but speaking, that was the bottleneck.
Yeah, that freeze up moment. We've probably all been there with something new. He talks about feeling, embarrassed, disappointed when he couldn't get the words out. It's very human.
Definitely. So this deep dive isn't just telling his story. We want to unpack how he did it, why his approach seemed to work, and pull out lessons you might be able to use yourself. Have you ever felt that kind of gap, knowing something but struggling to apply it?
That's exactly the feeling we're chasing today through Ravi's story. Okay, let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Chapter 1, The Decision. He's working in a mobile shop.
And he sees his boss dealing with customers in English, just smooth, effortless conversation. And Ravi's thinking, I wish I could do that.
It's that everyday observation that plants the seed, right? But then comes the trigger moment.
Ah, yes, the incident. A young woman comes in, asks about the latest iPhone in English. Ravi understands her perfectly, but nothing comes out.
He just freezes and ends up sort of awkwardly pointing, that phone here, It wasn't effective, obviously. The customer left.
And that evening, that failure really made him think. He looked back at all his years of learning English in school.
Which was all grammar rules, verb tables, preparing for exams.
Exactly. It hit him that none of that had actually prepared him to speak. It was knowledge about the language, not the skill of using it. That's a really key distinction, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah. So often the focus is on theory over practice. So he's there, maybe on his terrace, like the source says, feeling frustrated. But instead of giving up, he flips it.
He thinks, okay, the old way didn't work. What if I try something totally different? What if I just start speaking? Forget perfection, just try. And he gives himself this crazy deadline.
7 days. Just 1 week to start speaking. It's bold.
It is. And he doesn't just vaguely decide. He creates Mission English, 7 days. A proper plan, day by day, with specific goals, shows real determination.
Let's quickly run through that plan. Day 1, start speaking simple sentences.
Day 2, learn 20 useful daily words. Practical stuff.
Day 3, practice conversations, but in front of a mirror.
Day 4, listening and repeating, absorbing the sounds.
Day 5, the big one, talk to a stranger in English.
Day 6, record himself speaking, then review it, like self-coaching.
And day 7, the final test, make a 2-minute video in English.
It's a packed week, but you can see the logic. Each day builds on the last, moving from safe, private practice towards, well, the real world.
So day 1, he actually does it. Stands in front of the mirror.
Yep. And says these simple sentences out loud. Hello, my name is Ravi. I am learning English. I want to speak clearly. I can do it.
He felt a bit weird doing it, apparently, but also kind of excited. That first step.
And crucially, he didn't just leave it there. At work that day, a customer comes in.
And Ravi greets him. Good morning, sir. How can I help you? Simple, but huge.
Absolutely huge. Because those were his words. He'd constructed them, said them. English became an action he could take, not just something in a textbook.
That shift is massive. And his journal entry that night sums it up. Today, I spoke English. I was scared, but I did it. Tomorrow, I will do more. Fear, action momentum.
That action builds the confidence, not the other way around. Which takes us neatly into day 2, chapter 2. 20 words that change everything.
Okay, so his goal is just 20 words, but the key is which words.
Right. Not fancy vocabulary. He picked words he actually needed for his life. Work, home, talking to people, super practical.
Like phone, name, number, price, work, help, today, tomorrow, morning, evening, basic stuff.
Water, food, friend, call, talk, come, go, buy, sell. You know the core words you use constantly. High frequency.
But he didn't just memorize the list, he did something else.
Yes. He made tiny sentences with each word. Phone, this is my phone. Price, what is the price? It anchors the word in a usable structure, however simple.
Makes it active, not passive knowledge. Then he recorded himself saying these sentences.
Yeah, on his phone. Listen back. He apparently laughed at how he sounded, but it was him speaking English. Makes it real.
And in the application part, at work he challenged himself, use at least 5 of these new words with actual customers.
And he smashed it. Used 10 by the evening, talking about the phone, the price, asking how he could help, direct application, immediate feedback.
That must have felt good, seeing it work.
Definitely. His mirror affirmation that night shows it. Today I used 10 new words. I feel strong. I feel good. Building that self-belief.
And critically, he wasn't hung up on grammar, was he?
Not at all. The focus was purely on getting the message across. Communication first, perfection later. That's often the key to getting started.
His day 2 journal entry again. Today, I learned the power of small words. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be brave. Tomorrow, I will speak more. And he dreamt in English that night.
Wow. Yeah, that shows deep immersion already. Okay, day 3. The mirror trick. He's got some momentum now.
2 days of speaking under his belt. Feeling more confident. His goal, practice talking to himself.
In the mirror, he starts with affirmations again. Good morning, my name is Robbie. I speak English now. I am not afraid. Looking himself in the eye.
Why the mirror, though? What's the psychology there?
Well, it's a safe audience, isn't it? No judgment. You can see your expressions, practice pronunciation, get comfortable with the physical act of speaking without feeling self-conscious.
Makes sense. And he used his 20 words to make little dialogues.
Yeah, playing both parts, like a customer asking about a phone, then him answering as the shopkeeper. Active practice.
He even invented characters, a customer, a tourist, a new friend, and made up conversations for them. That's quite creative.
It really is. He's actively creating speaking opportunities, not just waiting for them. Then he tries this challenge he found online.
This speak for 1 minute without stopping challenge sounds intense.
It is. But he did it. Talked about his learning, his hopes, things like, I learn every day, I make mistakes, but I don't stop.
He said he felt free after doing it.
Breaking through that barrier of hesitation, and he kept using the mirror, even talking about food later.
Showing he was internalizing the technique. The key thing seems to be the connection he made. Looking in the mirror, feeling less afraid, believing in himself more. It's psychological as much as linguistic.
Yeah, the journal entry for day 3 hits that. Today, I spoke to the mirror, but I also spoke to myself. I'm learning to trust myself. It goes beyond just English.
It really does. Okay, halfway point. Day 4. The power of listening and repeating. Shifting gears slightly.
He remembered a quote, something like, before you speak like a native, you must listen like a baby. The idea that you absorb language first through listening, picking up the sounds and rhythms.
So his task was listening and repeating. He used a YouTube story.
Yeah, a simple English story, The Boy in the Mango Tree. Crucially, it had slow, clear narration, accessible.
And his method was systematic. Listen to a line, pause, repeat it, over and over.
Exactly. Once there was a little boy, pause, repeat, who loved mangoes, pause, repeat. He's training his ears and his mouth, building muscle memory for the sounds and sentence patterns. Picked up useful phrases, too, like once there was.
And then the source calls it an amazing moment. He stopped the video.
And just retold the story. In his own words. Not perfectly, maybe, but the core story came out. That's a big jump from just echoing.
Shows real comprehension and the ability to produce language himself. He listened to podcasts, too.
Beginner ones, yeah. Again, listening and repeating phrases. But then he started adapting them.
Like hearing, today I woke up early. I went for a walk, and turning it into, today I woke up early. I listened to English. I practiced speaking, making it his own.
That's the progression, from copying to creating. He realized listening wasn't passive, it was active training.
And that evening practice, listening to the story again, eyes closed, repeating and adding his own ending. And the young man smiled, holding English in his heart.
Wow.
That's quite poetic.
It shows the emotional connection he was building. His journal. Today I became a listener. I became an echo. And slowly I became a speaker. My ears are now my teachers. My voice is my proof. Powerful stuff.
Okay, day 5. This feels like the real test. Speaking to a stranger, the fear test.
Yep. All the practice is great, but you have to eventually use it with real people, unpredictable people. That's the scary part.
He was nervous. Walked down the street, went into a cafe, had to give him a pep talk.
But he did it. Ordered his coffee, said thank you, asked the simple question, what time do you close today? Tiny interaction, massive step.
And then something unplanned happened.
Right. He saw an older man struggling with a suitcase and just offered to help. Spontaneously.
Which led to a short conversation. The man was from the U.S. Ravi asked, "Where are you from?" Talked about wanting to visit.
Again, probably not perfect English. Pauses, maybe some mispronunciations. But that wasn't the point.
The point was connection. He communicated with a stranger in English and made a connection. That feeling must have been incredible.
Huge validation. His journal entry captures it. Today, I spoke to a stranger. I felt nervous, but I didn't stop. I made mistakes, but I didn't care. I was proud. I connected. Tomorrow, I will speak again. Facing the fear is everything.
Leads us to day 6. Getting analytical now. Recording and reviewing. Becoming your own coach.
This is smart. Recording yourself gives you objective feedback. It's hard to judge how you sound while you're actually speaking.
So he recorded himself for 2 minutes, just talking about his progress, his journey.
Then he listened back. And he was honest, noted things he could improve pronunciation, some filler words like maybe sentences running on too long.
But also the positives. He was making sentences. He wasn't scared to talk. His ideas were clear. He could communicate.
That balanced view is key, not just focusing on flaws. His journal, today I heard my own voice. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine. I can improve. I will listen to my recordings every day. Taking ownership.
Then he did another recording, pretending to talk to a friend.
Yeah, an imaginary friend, Raj, talking about how happy he was with his progress, and listening back, he could hear improvement already.
Better flow, sounded more natural, more confident. He was learning from his own feedback loop.
Exactly. He noted more specific things too. Need to slow down a bit, try to cut the ums, practice specific words. He's literally teaching himself.
Becoming his own coach, like the chapter title says. And this became a habit, record, review, improve.
And the results were audible. By the end of the week, his speaking was noticeably stronger, clearer.
His day 6 journal entry nails it. Today, I became my own coach. I don't need a teacher to tell me what to do. I just need to listen to myself and keep going. Tomorrow, I will be better. Real self-directed learning.
Which brings us to the final day, day 7. The final challenge, speaking in English for 2 minutes. On video this time.
Upping the stakes. He prepared, right? Thought about what he wanted to say.
Yeah, made a list. How he started, what worked, what he was proud of, his progress. Practiced some key phrases beforehand.
And then hit record. 2 minutes. Just him and the camera speaking English.
The video itself wasn't about perfection. It was about showing his journey, his effort, his pride. He talked about starting scared but pushing through, about the steps he took. It was his story.
And watching it back, he saw the flaws, sure. But more importantly, he saw someone speaking clearly, purposefully, from the heart.
The video was proof of his transformation, a tangible result of that intense week.
And sharing it with friends and family, their amazed reactions, that must have been the icing on the cake.
Absolutely. His final journal entry. Today, I spoke for 2 minutes. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. I spoke my truth, and I will keep speaking. This is just the beginning.
It's clear he didn't just learn English words. He started living the language. An amazing transformation in just 7 days.
Truly remarkable, and driven by such a practical, focused approach.
So let's distill this. What are the big takeaways from Robbie's week that, you listening could maybe apply?
Well, first, the power of small, daily goals. Break big, scary things down.
Definitely. And focusing on practical application. Learn what you actually need and use it immediately. Don't wait for perfection.
And facing the fear. Action builds confidence. Just starting, even if you're nervous, is key.
The mirror trick, listening and repeating, recording yourself, these are all concrete techniques. Self-reflection is huge.
And consistency. Short, focused practice every day, using different methods, seems way more effective than occasional cramming.
Right. So the final thought for you to maybe chew on, what's one small step, just one, you could take today towards a goal you've been putting off? Think about Robbie, the focus, the willingness to just try, even imperfectly. What could that unlock for you?
It's inspiring stuff. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Ravi's 7-day mission. We hope it's given you some food for thought for your own challenges.